Hey, this is a ceiling fan video to try to save some people some money. This is by Progress Lighting. We have a down rod and a light kit, and here is the main fan part. I like to start off by taking everything out of the package, making sure the motor has a nice place to sit for the ceiling fan blades. And I made this video because I think the bigger names got it wrong. I don't think you should be hanging this thing upside down. Most of the videos I've seen, they put the down rod on first and then you're working with your hands over your head most of the time. We're just taking everything out of the plastic and out of the packages and unwrapping everything. I like to do this on the floor because it gives me more room. These right here are parts of the light kit, and we're just unpackaging everything. This is the light kit. We're just going to unwrap this and set it aside. And then we're going to pull the dome out. And we're even going to take the light bulbs out of the package. We want everything unwrapped. So we got the correct pull chain colors, and we're going to put them in with the dome. We want all the light kit together because that's going to be the last thing we do. And we're going to end up changing that down rod to the longer one. So we're taking the brakes off now, and these screws are extra, so we're just putting them aside. And then this is the canopy spot for the light kit. So it's just a little cap. It's got 3 screws. Make sure you don't lose them, and we're going to pop out the middle piece. You don't want to drop those little screws or any screws inside that motor because it's kind of hell to dig out. Now we're just feeding the wires through the cap, and it's threaded, so we just got to twist it on there. And it came with this little lock ring, and I'm just putting it on there. I don't usually put this on, but it just seemed like the right thing to do for the video. So we're just going to set this aside for later, and then we're going to pull the cardboard and paper out of the light kit area. These little screws, is about 15 of them. They're for the fan blades to the brackets. They don't come with washers with this one, but if they do, I would normally put the washers on too. Now you just want to start these screws off with your hand because you don't want to strip it out with the screw gun just right away. So it just makes it a little easier, but we're just going to tighten them straight down. When it comes to the bracket to the fan itself, you just want to hit it light on one side and then drive it in on the other, and then tighten up the other one. So yeah, we're going to put all 5 of these blades on before we move on to the next step. All 5 blades on. We're going to work with this light kit. And we're going to go white to white and black to black. Sometimes it's blue to black. But anyways, there's only 2 wires just for the light kit in this area right here. So we're going to put it down in the right position, making sure the wires are all in there tucked nice. And then we're going to put those tiny screws back in. Now back to our box. We just got loose garbage in there. Nothing heavy. And we're going to make sure we cut off the right amount of wires. These little screws right here are for the down rod to keep them in place. And then we want to make sure we get our canopy ready. This particular canopy, you got to take one screw out completely and loosen the other. So we're just doing that now and getting the canopy off. Make sure you put those where you're not going to lose them. We got a little pin. We're going to take that out, and then we're going to take this ball off the top of this down rod because we're not using it. So we're going to slide that out and put the new one in, just as the way we took it off. Slide it up into place, and only one side of this is going to be threaded. Either it's the the ball part or the rod, but we're going to slide our canopy on, and then we got to fish our wires through. So once we get these through, we're going to settle it in nice, and we're going to put our pin in first. Just got to jiggle a little bit sometimes, but it'll go. Make sure it's not going nowhere. And then when you're tightening these screws, you just want to hit the first one lightly and then tighten this one all the way down. So before we get up on the ladder, we're just going to strip these wires out. And this is threaded wire, so you just want to twist it tight with your fingers after you strip a little bit off. Threaded's probably the wrong word. Stranded. So I'm using 5/16 screws that are 1.5 inches long. I'm just getting everything ready right now. So here it is at our light box. It's a 4-inch pancake, and we're just pulling out our wire and making sure nothing's damaged on the wire. And we're taking the old hardware out of it. This hardware is good enough for the bracket, but I want to sink it into the wood and make it strong. So I just need a little bit of wire here. You don't want to go too crazy, and I don't want to pull the extra out of the ceiling. And we're sinking this all the way through the wood. We just want to make sure it's not going to go anywhere. In my younger days, I had a problem with over tightening these type of brackets. You want to just make sure it's up there good and tight, and put your hand on it too and make sure it's not going to go anywhere. But you don't want to drive it up there, because if you drive it up there, it's harder to get the canopy up. So we're going to set our ladder up directly in front of the place and make sure we got a good hold on that fan. You just want to be careful with this, especially if you don't do this all the time. Just want to take your time and ease it up there. There's a little notch in this ball, and if you rotate the fan, it'll click right in. So we're taking the 2 grounds and we're going to hook them up to the ground from the wire. And you want to make sure your power's off for this, whether it's your switches being down or just for better measure, you might want to make sure the breaker's off. So we're just matching up all of the colors. So ground to green, white to white, black to black, and red to blue. Blue is your light, black is your fan. So yeah, we're just making sure that we got all these nice and tight underneath the wire nut. You don't want any copper showing outside of that wire nut. So now we're just going to tuck them up there as tight as we can. We want to keep it tight and neat, because we don't want to have any problem putting that canopy on. So I'm just shoving it up in there. So we're just going to pop this in. And this right here can be a hard thing. You have to hit this screw square on or it will strip. And once you strip it, you're basically screwed. Alright, and last but not least, we have the light kit. And we want to make sure that the light kit is in the proper position so it's not interfering with the chain. So of course we're going to start with the light bulbs. And then we're going to adjust it one more time. Just make sure it's not in the way. Like, you don't want the chain in the way of the light bulb at all. So the dome goes up, this little cap, and then this holds it all together right here. And then once you put these little pull chain pieces on, that's basically it. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps. I hope it saves you money, and I'll see you on the next video.